Okay, there we go. With that, I would like to call this meeting of the town board to order. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. It's 5:30. And I'd like to ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice. Thank you. Tilly, could you conduct a roll call?
Yes. Supervisor Kennan.
Here.
Councilman Mayville.
Here.
Councilman Morrison. Here. Councilwoman Winkler. Here. Councilwoman Cole. Here.
Thank you. I have posted and circulated an agenda for this meeting, and I would like to ask for a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Very short comments on my part. Just to report what I think you all know, which is that we had an event up at the Highway Garage last Friday, and I'm glad that a number of you were able to attend it. It was sponsored by the highway superintendents of Dutchess County, and it was really their event. They'd asked if they could have it there, and we happily agreed in honor of Bob Stevens. And there were a lot of trucks there and a lot of highway folks from around the county and from outside the county. And it was a really wonderful, very moving event. And we've talked before, I think informally, about getting a plaque that we would put on the building, and in memory of Bob. And that idea has generated a lot of support, and really taking that one step further, the town hall, the highway garage has never actually been dedicated, we never had a public event up at the highway garage, and it is now fully functional and so on. And it seems to make great sense and resonate with a lot of people to actually name the building for Bob. I've written to Robert Jr. to mention this idea to him and to ask him how he feels about that, because we certainly want to take his feelings into account. And if it was something that he favored, to let him know that we would love it if he could be here for that. And I haven't heard back from him, but I'll certainly let you know. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you in on that. Until that happens, I would say this is not something for public consumption yet. Thank you, but hopefully it will. And that would be a very public event where the community would be invited to come up and see the garage. The community has never been invited to come up and see the garage that they paid for.
Yeah, they were. We had an open house for them. I took photos. When the flag went up, the flag.
That was the flag. Yes.
It was an open house.
It was an open house. Yeah. We didn't maybe
people did tour.
People just didn't show up, but it was an open house.
Okay, well, this would be
the photos are on the web.
This would have some very meaningful purpose to it. But anyway,
is this the suggestion for the
this is my work earlier a couple of hours ago.
Is it normal to like have someone's full formal name, or like Robert Bob Stevens?
We could do it with Bob,
Bob
in quotes.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but
I thought I would start with this, and then we could work backwards.
I mean, my relatives have been Robert, but they were known as.
Yeah. No, I thought about Robert Bob or just Bob Stevens.
Yeah.
We could.
I never knew him as Bob until he was part of this. He was always Robert to his family.
Oh, was he?
Always,
Oh, okay.
yes.
What
It was
interesting,
always Robert, right?
some of the comments up there, like at the general nickname Bear Road Bob, everybody seemed to refer to him.
Bobby, yeah.
Really?
Very sweet, yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway, this is
Anyway,
this is a
something-
placeholder right now.
Yeah.
And I've just started to do a little research on plaques, and looks like a metal plaque may be affixed to a wooden piece that would then be affixed to the side of the garage, could be
Yeah.
maybe underneath the overhang
Mhm.
outside the door to the office.
Maybe copper or something like that, might look very nice.
Mhm.
When you get into the aesthetics, we can get.
I will be all ears and very receptive to everybody's
I'm sure they
thoughts
have-
about
I'm
that.
sure they have a template that you just fill out too.
Yeah.
have a time frame?
My thought is actually to move along as fast as we could on this. We've got the 175th coming up, and I don't want to get that mixed up with that. So if it's something that we could do, let's say in June, that would be, that could be great. I think that would give us enough time to get it made. I don't think it takes very long to get it made.
No.
If you look on Amazon, there are lots of things.
I
Anyway.
just-
Do we need a resolution for that?
I don't think we do at this point. This is really just to get a sense
Oh,
of the
to
board.
officially name the building.
I think when we come to officially name the building, we will definitely look for a resolution to do that.
I just think with his son, since he lives far away, maybe there's an opportunity to do it remote too, that somehow we can do a live video stream.
We would definitely offer him that
Yeah,
if he
so that he
can.
doesn't feel pressure. I mean, that's
No.
my point,
Yeah,
when you live so far across.
yeah. And he made 2 trips within a couple of weeks of each other
Oh, did he?
around the time of his dad's passing. So,
We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, that definitely would offer him that. But I just wanted to share this with you all.
Nice.
And with that, let's move along. The first item on this is grants, and I should have put the Dutchess County grant. I've been chastised. I should have done that.
Well, so the application is due on the 13th of May.
Wow.
We have discussed this before, and Meg and Chris Nago offered their suggestions of what we should include in our application. And just to recap, this is a county grant for infrastructure and safety and security. So it seems a good fit for a new town hall. Let's see. So it covers general capital infrastructure to existing facilities, including physical structures, roof, windows, doors, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, security, furniture, fixtures, and appliances. And purchase of generators for critical infrastructure, ADA improvements, safety upgrades. So this grant is capped at 25,000, and there's a dollar for dollar match. So in looking at the budget, we should list items that add up to 50,000, right, with the town funding half of it. So I also read that if it's a public work, meaning construction, the project is subject to prevailing wage. I don't know what we've discussed with the engineer. I assume that's.
Yeah,
We haven't yet, but Warren had a price on it.
So Meg, you suggested,
Well, the disconnect and remove of existing plumbing, I think is an easy win with 15 grand. And then we do have demo that could bring us up with the platform, the ceramic tile, the flooring, wall partitions. I mean, that whole estimate, I wouldn't do the HVAC systems at this point, but taking out the HVAC, it's like 70,000. The only reason I did like the idea of a generator too, Chris, but what only concerned me is we don't have the electrical plan signed off on yet. So whether it's like a general rule that we use a generator type X, Y, and Z with a certain voltage or backup system, I don't know if that's ahead of the process, and we don't really have a date yet that we're gonna finish the building. So that was my only thought in just going for low hanging fruit, that we know we have to bring this up to ADA. And the front door also, but I don't think we're at a point to remove doors and frames when we're not even working on it fully
Right.
yet. But I just
Right.
thought the whole demo thing to bring it up to a usable new town garage, a town hall would be a good idea. So that's why I went in that direction.
Well, as you know, Warren looked into the, what we can do in the way of demo.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he discovered, and I think, Warren, you can comment on this, but is that anything dealing with plumbing fixtures has to be subject to prevailing wage, which
Right.
means really putting it, you go through the whole process of that. And it's a, yeah, it
Is it
inflates.
really a process,
Well,
or is
it's-
it just that you pay prevailing wage?
Well,
which
you
is more
certainly
than
pay
minimum
prevailing wage,
Yeah.
and depending on the level of dollars,
Yeah,
$50,000 worth of work would require it to be put out to bid.
And a prevailing wage.
At a
you know,
prevailing
it's
hard to
wage,
get
yeah.
bids.
is what, 18, what is prevailing wage for demo? Do we know, or disconnecting?
I don't
plumbing?
know, there's a whole, the county or the state puts out
Yeah.
prevailing wage for different trades.
Yeah.
And you'd have to find, we'd have to find out what the trade was gonna be, for that.
So this would be a combination of equipment and contracting? Is that,
It would be if we were, I think if we were trying to make, to do this for ADA accessibility, I would think we'd have to describe what we're putting in. If we're demoing things out, we're gonna have to describe.
right, so it's not just demoing.
It's also
right?
the
It's
bathrooms
purchase.
cost 30 grand, the estimate, just for the bathrooms.
The,
The plumbing for the bathroom is 30 grand as the estimate on our
we have
cost
two-
estimate.
two
And then,
bathrooms?
yes, 2 bathrooms are involved, and they're multi-sex or unisex bathrooms, ADA, and their estimate 15 grand each, so 30 grand. And then to disconnect and remove existing plumbing systems is 15 grand. So,
For both bathrooms?
correct. And the ceramic tiles throughout the whole building, so I don't know about that whole part, but so 15, and we have 15 and 30 is 45, so under 50, but
Mhm.
And so we're not including. Oh, so we
just
can-
trying to think of like ways to like just have chunks of money
Mhm.
versus because we don't have much planned yet.
And all we
Chris,
have
did you
are
want to talk?
estimates.
Right.
Yeah,
These are
we
all
have-
estimates.
Yeah.
We don't have actual figures, we just
Correct.
have
We had
estimates,
the first set of estimates. from
Right, that's it.
land, which
And
was
that-
very broad,
right?
general estimates.
But that's all we've got to go with.
Yeah, that's right,
Correct.
that's
So we
right,
put
that's
it
what
out
we
to
would
bid,
work
right?
with. I mean, my own sense of how the county works. I mean, I'm on that committee that
Yeah.
approves those. I would obviously have to recuse myself from any discussion of that, but is that a generator, if we could get a rough estimate of what the power consumption of the building would need, we would be able to identify a specific generator. Our application does not have to come in at 50. It could come in at 40.
Okay.
In other words, it could come in at any number,
I
obviously.
could come in at 100. and make that
Well, we could
25.
combine
Yeah.
2 things. We could put a
Anyway,
generator
I'm just-
on there and
I
that.
guess my point was just that a generator, it's a very specific thing. It's very
Right.
easy for people to get their heads around it.
Mhm.
It's a generator, they don't have one. It's, they need it if they want to be, if the building is to be used as an emergency shelter.
Mhm.
So that would be sort of my 2 cents worth, but I'm, if you feel you want to do the ADA and go that route,
Well, can we do both?
or,
I
Try-
don't see a reason why we can't do both.
okay,
I mean, we're gonna be capped at 25,000. I don't think we should not ask for the 25,000.
Right.
We have
Mhm.
so much to do in that building.
mhm.
Is it-
Do we have an estimate for the generator?
I can ask for it. I
We-
mean, I've been working with Lance.
There, I mean, you can buy generators for 2,000 up to probably, 100,000. I mean, it's a wild range of price. So that we need to know sort of what we're looking for that building. And I think land could give us that very quickly.
I can ask them for that. Be happy to do it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would
I
be good.
mean, we have to think of the maximum load,
Yeah,
what we need for that building.
yeah.
It's
And I
gonna run
like
at
that
least
this-
10, at least,
Mhm.
at least.
Home
Yeah.
homes are like to
Mhm.
wire in or
Yeah.
$5,000, they were.
Mhm.
Well, it would have to be
For
an
12.
auto switch on.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friends in the house was 12,000, just for like a
Mhm.
average size house.
I just did one.
Was it?
Tell me, it was all of that and then some.
Okay, so it's not hard to hit.
No,
And we could promote it as, it would put us in a position of being able to be a warming and a
Mhm.
cooling center,
That's
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
which we don't currently.
because you have to have somebody to man it, that's the problem.
Well,
And
Well,
that's
people
always-
have said they're gonna
Yeah.
buy it, but people did say they would step up and do it. They did. It's just we don't have,
Right.
well, we do, but we don't.
Well,
The
yeah, I
Legion.
mean, we would obviously not open the building without having somebody
Mhm.
be able to be there, so we could cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't think we have to come up with the names of individuals at this point.
And if you have the facilities in place, I believe through Red Cross, there is a way to designate your facility as a Red Cross
Mhm.
heating and cooling center.
Mhm.
It would assist with staffing it, but they're coming, I mean, we found with the fire, they're coming from, sometimes far away, so it'll take days for those to get there, but one of the biggest issues we talk about a lot is when it's hot or cold, we don't have these facilities for
Correct.
folks, so.
Mhm.
And the library is only a cooling center during the hours
Right.
of the library being open, but Hudson River Housing did say they would even finance it, and there are, I mean, in Red Hook and other places, so many volunteers came out,
Mhm.
and also faith-based communities, so I think that's like the next thing.
Once the pool house is done,
That's
that'll
true,
be
they
one,
wanted
so
to
there'll
do it,
be
yeah.
a spot for folks, both on the north and the south end of towns.
Yeah, and then also, but that's down the line too, right? So the pool would be 2028.
Probably
That'll be-
on track for our project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not-
they're on track to have that completed, I think July of next year. I
Probably
talked to
on
them.
track with
Well,
our
at least we can
project.
go for money, right?
Yeah.
And see,
right, they're also looking for a timeline.
I mean,
I think in
I,
order to define that, we need to actually discuss
Yeah.
the projected course of events.
Right, well, that brings us back to Warren, because the item that we are waiting for now is if we want to talk to the town of Amenia about the use of a courtroom. Warren has been in touch with, you've been in touch with their attorney, and you said that you could provide us with something in writing if we needed it, that says a town can contract with a neighboring town for the use of its courtroom. That, when I was asked, I was with the supervisor of Amenia last night, and she said that, that her board would definitely need to see something that says one can do that.
Sure.
thanks.
Yeah, I provided their attorney with that information. And I also checked with the Association of Towns and got some additional material, and I don't think there's any question but that it can be done pursuant to the home rule law and intermunicipal. We'd have to have an intermunicipal agreement with the town that would have to pass muster, but it can be done. So I don't know, has their attorney spoken to the supervisor about it?
I don't know. I was waiting to hear from you about your conversation. I know you just mentioned you'd had one, and I
Yeah,
didn't
it
know.
was very brief. I just informed him that this is something that we were interested in doing. He didn't really know much about it. And I gave him a citation for the to make his own decision, but I told him that my reading of the statute was that it could be done through a intermunicipal agreement. And he hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I don't know if. And I also asked if the town would be interested in entering into such an agreement with our town. So I haven't heard back.
Yeah, well, the town supervisor, when I talked to her, said once we had legal clearance that we could do this, that she would ask me to come and appear before her town board to talk about it.
Mhm.
So we haven't done that, taken that step yet. Because we wanted to know, didn't want to go there without being sure that we could do that.
Yeah. Well, I confirmed it even after my conversation with the town attorney, and I can send him some supplementary information that would make it clear that it can be done.
Well, I will reach out to her tomorrow and just because that's been the hang up on that. It affects the layout of our town hall very considerably.
Well, mostly the boardroom.
Yes, we
Well, it'll
get
change everything.
changes, we get rid of the prisoner holding room, we actually create more space in the building.
But
So-
we still have to have a office for the judges and an office for the clerk, so,
We have to have an office for the clerk
and files.
and files, of course.
So should we round back to the grant for a minute?
Yeah, let's go back to the grant.
So my hope is to work on this weekend,
Mhm.
send it to Wednesday. Just quickly, do we have login credentials? Does anyone know? For this-
Yes.
For the
Yes,
county?
I have it.
Um,
I should be happy to share it with you.
Okay.
So, I mean, I personally think if the goal is to go for more than less, is to do the disconnect and remove existing plumbing systems and the 2 bathrooms being a total of $45,000 for ADA compliance, because we know we have to do that. And then we could find out how much a generator is and then add that in if you want, like if everyone wanted that and like
Well,
go
that
for
would
it.
put it over 50 then, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Which
there's
is fine.
But it doesn't matter if you go over, because they're only gonna give us 25.
Right.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they say we support this part of the project, but not this, and we give you money towards this, but not that, so I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I could also ask Lynn, is there anything else connected to the ADA bathrooms outside of these 2 categories to just add in, but
And the generator will require electrical work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To-
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's one,
And
that's a
that's
little hard.
expensive.
We would just be.
But you
paying
could get
for-
an estimate on that. You could get a ballpark figure, because they do it all the time.
I
I
can
just
get
want to
the
bring-
estimate right away.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Warren.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring to your attention that we also have to deal with the Wicks law. If it turns out that the total cost of the project, the renovation of the town hall is going to be 500,000 or more, then we have to comply with the Wicks law, which means that you're going to put it out separate bid specifications for the plumbing, heating, and electric. So
Like we just.
we have to know what our costs are, whether we're going to be covered by the Wicks law for the entire contract. And I can speak with with our engineer about that. But we may not be able to do the plumbing work if it's going to be part of the total cost of construction or reconstruction or rehabilitation of the building.
Right,
I
well,
think-
this is the issue we're wrestling with, which is that if this is considered part of the larger project, then it is subject to the Wicks law, which requires you to separate out plumbing, electrical, HVAC, et cetera, et cetera. The hope was that we would be able to just get started while we still finish some pieces of the design with some demo work in the building and get that out of the way.
Like remove platform, which is the platform we don't need, ceramic tile and remove flooring. We know we have to do all those things.
Yeah.
Is that something that was included? I mean,
The tile one
just the demo
or
period.
the demo?
Remove platform,
It-
ceramic tile, flooring, doors.
The
and
more that you
frames.
make the demo look like part of the project, the more we fall into that Wicks law.
Okay, so we just
So
wanted.
being
the-
able to take some discrete things like, let's just get the bathroom fixtures out of there,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, would, I think potentially, I can't speak to this, but potentially would be something that we could move forward with. At the same time, I'm also, we still need to have a water supply in the building during construction because they're gonna definitely need water for one thing or another.
so I mean, two things we're talking about, right? We're talking about the grant that's really important from a time sensitive standpoint.
Right.
And the second was just getting going on demo, if we can
Mhm.
do it, if it's prevailing wage, whatever, but not putting it out to a massive bid, to know that someone's gotta take down the platform.
Right.
And that estimate at this point is $5,000. So is there a local contractor that they would say, I'm paying prevailing wage? I think that Warren was saying that's okay, as long as it's not plumbing, electrical, and
Right.
You pay prevailing wage, for any public work contract, and that would include the demolition.
Mhm.
So that
I'm not against
Prevailing
that,
wage.
actually, but
Most local companies don't bid prevailing wage
No.
projects.
But I do think we need to get started somehow.
Mhm.
So if this is a way to get started on this project, I think we have to find any way to just pull the trigger and get moving, but that's a separate conversation from the
Right, we
grant,
need to
right?
figure out the
Yeah.
grant stuff.
Yeah,
So,
The expenses do need to be spent by September 2028, just so.
oh,
That-
that's not
We have the
bad.
clock ticking. That's a joke.
yeah,
So what's the consensus?
what do you-
Go for 45, go for all those items on the same grant application and see where we land?
I think both projects are compelling, the generator and the ADA bathroom. I think that falls into your sweet spot. The ADA compliance and generators are spelled out as, acceptable.
I think I think it's fine to move forward and submit the application and see
If
see how
need
we
to-
do.
Yeah,
If we have to give them more afterward, we can. To
'cause
get
we're
it
gonna do
started,
those things anyways.
right?
Yeah.
These are fairly competitive grant applications, so they get a lot of scrutiny from the county. But
Yeah,
we
it's
should-
a small amount. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, relatively, it's
Yeah.
very
I'm
small.
happy, I'm happy,
Yeah.
Rochelle, tomorrow or Friday or weekend to work with you on like filling out blanks on the
okay,
application and, get it ready to go.
okay.
We have our next board meeting is the day after
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
that. So on the grant application, does it ask for a resolution of the town board supporting the grant application?
No, so that was my question to the county, and she said no. Don't need
Okay,
it at this point,
okay,
so. I'm sure if they offer it, then we need a resolution.
yeah. No, I just, we realized when we got done with the Greenway application that it required the board resolution, which you haven't, which we'll get to in a minute.
But I'll reach out to Land tomorrow to get some figures on the
That would be-
generator. And if
that'd be
there's
great.
anything else around the ADA bathroom.
Right, and they don't need architectural plans or anything.
Right.
I don't know if you want to move on to New York Forward. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, So Meg connected me with Paul Bankston, formerly of NACC.
Mhm.
You know him.
I know
He is
Paul.
now with the New York Department of State, and he is a revitalization specialist. He manages grants through the Brownfield Opportunity Area, the Smart Growth Planning Grants, and New York Forward Downtown Revitalization Initiative. So I am going to meet with him tomorrow, just to,
Mhm.
he's very eager to see the town and the village get,
Mhm.
get revitalized.
Mhm.
And I ran into Katie Cariello at the memorial for Bob Stevens. She's, really eager to meet with Paul as well, but she is in London at the moment. So we'll circle back, and just nice to have, someone at the state who can
That would be
kind of
great.
walk us, help
Yeah.
us with this.
That'd be great. And Katie at the village level would, because it probably will be, the village will be the,
Yeah.
essentially like it is on the wastewater project, will be the lead.
Really.
And she was certainly enthusiastic about it the last time, and there was no way we had enough time to put it together. But, and I think what would be useful would be to get the group of people who actually want to work on it together, which include village people and, anybody else who actually has some ability to do work on it. And
I'm
that'd be
curious
great.
about these other areas, the brownfield. They deal with like abandoned properties or abandoned lots.
The town's old highway garage
Yeah, I was
is a
thinking.
prime
I
brownfield
was
site.
thinking
It's now it's out of our hands because it is actually under contract. But if we had vacant brownfield land, that is something that there's a lot of money for. And before we leased it to the village, my hope was to actually take that building down, because if you look at the flood maps of the village, that area down of where the creek comes down on South Center Street and makes the turn, goes under the road, is a major flooding place. And when the big flood happened, we had the 100-year flood or whatever it was, flooded all the way up South Center Street. That building is a major contributor. It blocks water flow. So, it would have qualified on a lot of grounds.
And it's not a healthy environment, that
Totally.
whole building and the
Totally.
grounds.
Totally. Anyway, so for a future reference, and this could be for, a town board in a couple of years, that brownfield opportunity for that site is a great one. And it doesn't require you to say what you're going to put on the site afterwards. It's just cleaning it,
It's just preparing.
preparing it,
Isn't it?
because there are a lot of ideas, and the village would obviously have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's it for me.
And then Greenway, do we, that's
Greenway,
resolution.
yes, and I want to thank Rochelle and Greenwood for their help on that. We submitted a grant application to Greenway, and let's see, I've got it here, for a Hudson Valley Greenway Planning Grant in the amount of $40,000. This is to support the town as it works on the next phase of zoning, which is the rest of the town after doing the commercial part. And this would support the town hiring a consultant. And this very specifically is what that is for. And I think the Greenway people are very welcoming of this application. And anytime we can, get a grant that will help us on what we intend to do, it would be great. So We filled out the application, it's gone in, and I think we did a good job on it. The one item that was left out, and you can still submit this afterwards, very clearly stated. It can be supplied afterwards, but at the earliest opportunity, so which is tonight. So, unless there are any questions about it, I would entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
It's just eyes and names on here.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, that takes care of those. We have the recreation contract with the village, which has been presented to us. I think our committee has looked at it and brought it to the board. And I know the village is eager to move forward with it. I'm supportive of it. Would like to get that done when we can. And we don't have that in front of us right now, but it could be at our meeting on the 14th.
But we should discuss it so we can move right along with
Yeah,
it.
because
Yeah.
it would go back to the
Right.
village for any additional.
Right, so we can get it going and be on time this year.
May I say?
Please.
So I'm all in support of supporting the ground maintenance and all the recreational. What I sort of would like to do, and I don't mean to be nitpicky, but I felt last year we were acknowledged that, that was all, this is officially done this year, redlined and everything, which is great. We are not gonna have a rec director, we're not gonna have a rec program till probably 2027. So I would, in a way, love the verbiage to just reflect paying into the whole support of the parks and as like a parks category, change it instead of being parks maintenance versus recreation, because their budget for this is like $100,000 for just the parks. And that includes 26,000 for rec director. And then the summer camp estimate 40 grand. So to me, I'm thinking like, I know they're asking because their calendar year goes June to next year and our approved budget is 41,200. They have 42 into the thing. I mean, for me personally, I would be in support of increasing it to 50, like next year, like increase it. But I would sort of like it because there's a lot of verbiage in this thing about the rec director giving a quarterly update. And we know this is not true. Whether this has been presented and passed to their residents in a way that says they're getting income from the parks, from the rec program, they have it. I just wish it would be cleaner and just to say that we support the parks and its maintenance versus specific to a rec program and give the 41,200, but not have these. We're not having a rec program to 2027.
So just in conversation, since we initially sent this out, the village did confirm their intention is to hire a part-time rec director December of this year. That will probably move to a full-time rec director. I think it's in September.
27. September.
27 for the full-time.
Right, but when they hire somebody part-time, they want to get some programs going for the winter months, not just have it for the summer months.
I think that's part of the.
It is hard too,
That
but,
park is, but they also, so there's the Veterans Park
right,
maintenance and upkeep. I think they bulleted it out. is what
They
was
did.
asked in
They
the
did.
bid This year.
they did.
I mean, it's
Because
also
it's
the rail
always
trail.
covered those.
It's the
those
rail
things.
trail.
It just wasn't clear in previous.
Right, and they
contracts.
spelled it all out. Did you all get a copy of it?
Email.
Right.
Well, that's to my point, like, it's not even a hard fix for their current contract if they took out, like, just parks maintenance program to me. Like, I'm all for maintaining the rail trail, the Veterans Park, the park itself. If they choose to use the money for the rec director, they do. I mean, maybe later it'll be a break-even standpoint for them for their rec program in the pool. I'm just saying, like, to make it very clean, like, we support parks maintenance, and whatever they use it for, do the 41,200 or the 50 without getting into some of these little points about a quarterly rec director update and.
Well, we kind of would like them to come and give us a report because nothing was happening before. Then they had a rec director and she
Right.
did
She
come
did,
and
I
give us,
remember, it was very
and
good.
that's helpful because we weren't getting any of that. So at least they know what we would like to see and what our expectations are, but then they lost their rec director. But, I mean, it's,
I mean,
I don't, whatever you wanted to say, but we need to move forward with it.
Yeah, I just think it's sort of.
So are there
misleading.
a few words or phrases that you would, just to try and get some sort of
Well,
more precision on this?
Well, for this
that-
next
To take
year,
out,
the next year, may I hold, touch it?
Sure.
Yeah, so they did give their exhibit A, so they did say, you know, they said general maintenance, once upon Eddie Collins Park completion,
Mhm.
then they have all these other things about staffing, recreation, weekly programming, aquatics, but point one has so many things, I mean, I just think, like, why not just a parks maintenance program?
Well, because it is gonna include the rec director, that is all part of it. It used to be just the what was it before, just the recreation committee, and it didn't really include the parks, which was very much a part of it. It's never been real clear.
Yeah,
And the one thing we'd like to get, which I'm not sure we're getting, and Lorna could tell us, I don't think we're getting that breakdown of the expenses that we're supposed to be getting so that we can see,
Where our
just-
contributions go.
right,
Yeah.
just exactly what their expenses were, so that we know that we're not contributing more than what their expenses were, which I don't think we are, but. I mean, it's pretty- And with all the costs of everything going up,
well, I'm not against the amount of money, I just, they have it in their budget to the residents. Their line item for the town money is youth contract with town. And I think maybe on their side, it's a little misleading, because we're contributing to everything, right? So I'm not asking them to change the budget of how they say it, it's just that what we do contract is much more than just the program, so.
well,
So-
they
What
pretty
will
much
happen
spelled
if-
that out here.
Right,
If the park is closed again in the summer of 27.
well, it is not scheduled to be, because there is actually a construction now, and their bids get opened next week.
But there's always, I mean, what's the contingency?
Well, they're still gonna have all these expenses.
Not-
Whether that park opens or not, it's gonna exceed what we give them.
We don't know that, we haven't seen their expenses.
Where you know what the costs are for everything that they
Okay, but
do.
We need some accountability.
Well, whatever you wanted to say, but we gotta move forward with
but
it.
I do think there's a way that this can be cleaned up a little bit, like upon completion of whatever. Not to make it a big project, but I do think there are a few words that we could bring up to a contemporary 2026 contract.
So that's kind of what we should be doing here is
Mhm.
now adding our red line version
Okay.
and sending it back to the village so we can get an approval because
To get it going, so we can
Yeah.
get this approved by our next board
Well, we
meeting.
need to be satisfied with this
Okay.
as well. This is not.
I don't know how much more you can change on it. That's,
Well, why don't we have their expenses? Why don't we have?
I don't know that we necessarily ask that from other entities that we provide funding to.
We should.
Like
What
we did
is-
the library,
That's
$250,000 and don't get an accounting from it.
Why not?
Well, looking at their budget, I mean, they break it out a certain way,
Right.
whether
They-
they do
right.
it or not, is another thing. That's why I was thinking more of a lump sum, like who cares what you spend it on,
Right, 6
literally.
months and then the next half.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just me.
But I wouldn't wanna
but
go
I-
50,000, I wouldn't wanna increase it
I
to
mean,
that
I
amount.
get it.
I don't
wanna
How
do
you
that.
feel about the
Mhm.
42 versus our 41
And she
too.
also said, she didn't want to omit what it would cost to bring in a director, because the next year when they have one, it's gonna be a big hike to cover that expense.
But they said that last year too.
Well, they don't know what's, I mean, none of us, did we think our new town hall wasn't gonna be open
No,
by
I
now?
meant we knew they weren't gonna hire a director last year, and there was 40.
Well,
But
they-
they thought they were gonna
Yeah,
have a
they had
program
one,
going,
and
they
then the
did
person
have one,
quit. So at some point, there are things we
You know-
can't control.
right?
I just,
Yeah.
I'm not for, I am for like making it, I mean, this is obvious, right? But the
What's
use,
that?
some of the verbiage in here is straightforward,
Right.
you know,
in
what
the-
it's
in the
doing.
proposed
If,
contract. Yeah.
if the
But we,
exhibit, the
we
appendix,
requested this so that it would be clear to
we
everybody, we thought it'd
include-
be helpful.
could we include that in our contract, like appendix?
I think it is gonna be,
Exhibit A is used in the contract?
So
Warren?
this-
Oh, I don't know.
This was vetted
It's
through
part of
their
this.
attorney, and they
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
yeah.
add a rider to the contract, that's not a.
I don't know if it's called a exhibit A, like a law.
You can,
Yeah,
you can
listen.
append, I think.
There's no
anything to-
rule, there's no set rule, it's, you can characterize it any way you want.
Right, but if you refer to it in the contract, it does make it part of the contract,
Right.
That's correct.
right? And I-
Do we say something in there about getting receipts or
Mhm.
getting?
We do.
How is that money being spent? I think that's very, very baseline.
I mean, we,
Well, again, that's information Lorna could get,
Right,
as far as what they bring in and what they put out.
and it's easy
Should
to
be.
do from the system, you just do a printout, everything's in it's in its own category.
But I think we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the contracted agreement from us to fund them, and then what we're looking at is how they identify it and delineate it in their own budget.
yeah, I mean, they have a category called Parks and Rec as a
That's-
major category for
Mhm.
expenditures, and also summer camp.
Right.
The directors within the Parks and Rec. And then however they code their
Right.
income
Mhm.
is different, but they just call it the youth contract with town.
And that's why they did this exhibit, to make it a little bit clearer to us how it was being allocated.
Because to me, it's
Because-
like, if it's just called this whole thing as a basket, great. You know, use it however you need it. Like, what if one year you don't need it for the rec director, but you can use it for the rail trail?
Well, we kind of want to know how they're spending it though.
Well, I think in
Yeah, I get
general,
that,
we do,
yeah.
but I don't think we can get down to like, you know,
No, but they could submit
counting
to us,
pencils.
because they've always been
Yeah.
supposed to do that, and I think they maybe do it once a year.
Mhm.
Because it used to be that we were gonna pay up to a certain amount of it. If they didn't get to that point, we didn't do that whole amount, but we always did because they needed it,
Right, of course, yeah.
you know, and,
Well, one of the things that I could suggest, first of all, I talked to the mayor. The mayor
we all did.
invited any board member who's got some questions or issues with the thing to please come in and see her, and so she can
Yeah.
respond. And
Right.
And she
I mean,
would,
but
because that's
she
what
would.
I did
Obvious we're
too.
not having a summer program this year.
they're not having a summer program this year,
That-
correct?
That's 40 grand plus 26 is 76. I mean, 66. I'm not about, I just want to make it clear. I'm about paying the 40,000.
Right.
200, okay? I just think from all transparency standpoint to the village residents, this is a little wonky, okay?
Mhm.
If I open this up, I might say, well, that's weird last year and this year, but I am a town Northeast resident. And us discussing this, I just wanted to talk about, if it doesn't make sense to change how we call this, it's okay with me too. I mean, I do think, like you said, about once a rec person is hired,
Right.
the town wants a quarterly. But right
Right.
now, there
Because
is,
we're paying
there is
for
no
the service.
person,
Mhm.
there is no person to give us a quarterly. So to act like this is a requirement, it's not a requirement as of June 1st, right? So It's just a tweak.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a little.
If you want to
tweak.
tweak it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I could tweak it, but to go back, I think it's two separate
Yeah, yeah.
concerns here, right? Like how it's coded in their budgeting system, in my mind, doesn't necessarily relate to the contract itself. Like that's the village's responsibility to make sure it's clear and transparent to their constituents, like we're entering into the contract as it's spelled out
It
there,
has to be clear to our constituents if we're spending the money.
which I believe it is in the contract. Certainly much clearer than it had been previously.
We call it youth programs.
Mhm.
So our coding 7310.4 is youth programs, village rec service. So maybe in the future, we just have
Village rec
another code
service.
or whatever, but
Mhm.
that's not for right now. We passed the budget, right? I'm just saying we support the parks, which is great. And maybe we just code it different ourselves
And
next
we
year.
will have a budget process that
Right.
will be starting in August, and we can create new categories very, very easily. And, you know, with different names and different purposes.
Because we might want to fund even more, you know, maybe in one category
Yeah.
versus the other in the
Right.
future, and why not? I mean, the youth program might be you know, if you're getting pool fees, it might be self-funding, you know, I hope it is.
Mhm.
Eventually.
And then we just pay for parks, or an upkeep or something.
Hopefully.
Well, I'd be happy to work on some tweaks
Yeah.
with some language and bring it back to the mayor. And because obviously this is an agreement between two parties, the village and the town.
Mhm.
They've already looked at this. And so I'd like to be able to show it to the mayor and have her have a general sense that this is something that makes sense to them and makes sense to the town board.
Do we align the dollar amount exactly to our budget, or I know it's the opposite, like we're on the calendar year and they're on the, so they have
That's
42
what always
grand.
makes this so.
It makes
stupid.
it
So-
really complicated because we give them part of it in
Right.
June and then we give them the other part.
Yeah, we need Lorna to walk us through that part, because how that
Yeah.
happens.
I think we spell it out in there somewhere, in that thing too. That one thing that we do X and,
I think June and October,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
so in their budget cycle, and then when we pass ours, it's the next one, I believe.
yeah. I mean, I'm just for a couple tweaks. I'm not in for reinventing the wheel.
yeah.
I mean, if it's just about saying the rec director, excuse me, will present quarterly in September. They'll include a report and update expenditures as well.
So you want that out?
Well, we want the expenditures, right? So
So-
maybe we just pull out 13 to have the village rec director will present quarterly. Once hired, they will do that. And the next point, the village, well, I guess if you don't have a director, they can't, but should we just say report and update on expenditures in general?
So maybe
Instead of
absent,
So how do you want it to read?
Maybe the
maybe
director
absent a
would,
rec director, then a representative from the village board would provide that
because
information.
we want the expenditures, so
Mhm.
whatever it is, right?
Or, yeah,
I'm okay.
or a representative from the village.
Right,
Right.
right.
Doesn't have to be from the board.
Right,
It'd
it
be
could
nice.
the clerk, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we want both of those things, so maybe we just change the verbiage to that and then,
Because realistically, they've struggled, a lot of towns have struggled with hiring recreation directors. I mean, Amelia went through the same thing. They had a fantastic person. It's a great job. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay well.
Mhm.
but outside of that, I didn't see anything else other than, you know, what we really are paying for in the year 2026, 27.
And that's how we tried to frame it in our conversations, because years past, those are the same
Mhm.
questions. We wanted them to be really specific, like we've had the conversations, we're aware, we just need to see it included in the contract.
Yeah.
So,
Can we do it over email or at our next meeting to just, like, if we just
Well,
change
So I
some
think
meeting
words?
is next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just changing a
I'd
few
like to,
words.
maybe by email, send things back and forth so that we've got something that we can share with the, with the village before we I mean, I don't want to
Right,
bring
'cause they have to be
something.
okay with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris and Lana, you just said some good words, I think, about representative. Maybe just make that suggestion.
I
so
would
can
like it,
tweak it,
yeah.
send it out to all you guys, and if we're comfortable, then we can pass it along for their.
pass
That'd
it
be
along to
great.
Jen.
Thank you.
Their meeting is on the 12th. They've moved their meetings, so.
Their meeting is on Tuesday.
So if I can get something out tomorrow or this weekend, if you guys have a chance to take a look.
So you're just changing that one
Just
section.
changing that one section.
Number
And then
13.
Meg, you
I
recommended
think it was
Well, I
number
mean, it's
13.
mostly about the inference to, I
the
mean,
rec
later,
programs.
yeah, in the future, I think it's parks, it's just the parks program, right? Or parks and,
I mean, so they did spell it out,
Parks
park
maintenance.
maintenance and recreation program contract. Are you guys good with that, or should it?
I think we should leave it at that, because we are gonna have recreation,
Program.
and it could be
Eventually.
happening within this next year.
what is the title? Parks what?
Town of Northeast Village and Millerton Park Maintenance and Recreation Program Contract.
Mhm.
I'm okay with it, I mean.
Right, because it used to be just recreation
Recreation.
Oh,
program.
right. Oh,
And
is
there
that
was
what you
some-
changed?
Yeah,
It used to be just recreation, but so much of this
The dollars.
yeah.
went towards the parks and all the maintenance and what gets done, that no one knows that.
What
So
do they do on the rail trail?
they keep
That's-
it mowed and,
That is all
composting.
about recreation.
Right.
That is the
Isn't that a
greatest
county? I
recreational.
thought the county took care of
I
it.
don't know if they.
No,
do
the town, the
portable
village
toilets,
takes care of it
the
in
port-
the area of the village.
Oh,
The portable
okay.
toilets,
composting
they have that.
they have the
Yeah.
composting toilets.
That's
There's-
11 grand.
Yeah, right there.
That's 11 grand
Mhm.
between the portable toilets and the composting and the garbage, 1,500.
I was very involved in the design and actual getting that composting toilet going, and it was originally a shared partnership between
Yeah, 5 parties.
between 5 parties, the schoolhouse,
Uh-huh.
the
That did
Northeast
not go well.
community, yeah, anyway. It really does belong to the village, and it has to belong to the village.
Well, that's why I believe in the future, I would love if maybe the budget, this, to even maintain this, all these facilities could be spread across such a much bigger tax base, you know, like to include for the town of Northeast. I understand it's under a certain general fund, right?
Mhm.
Versus the other funds. So right now it's in actually Fund B, town outside. So it would be great if we could, anyway, but it's in the different fund because the A fund isn't the A fund just the town?
A fund is,
A fund is
is
everything.
everything.
It's everything, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
And that's
would.
primarily village residents.
Right.
Right, so for me, then the beat, like any way later, any way to move it into the general fund or whatever, it would be great, because then you have this much bigger tax base,
Yeah.
but that's the next step, right?
Mhm.
All right, so I will tweak, and if you guys have any other thoughts after this, just shoot me an email. I'll add this, send it out, and then we can hopefully have something in draft form to send back to them and do this before it
When it's due.
expires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
For that.
okay, that would be great.
And to Chris's point, in the meantime, if they're fine with any of us reaching out and asking
Mhm.
more specific questions.
I don't have any other questions, I mean,
Okay.
outside of like what we just talked about and
Yeah.
talking about reporting and Michelle bringing that up, that's,
And we want them to come and give us a report
Yeah.
once they get,
yeah.
we do.
But I do think, not down to the pencils of what it's being spent on, but I just think in all transparency, it should
We would
be,
require that from anyone that we're paying money in a contract.
Yeah.
to, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. I have one item that I'd like to ask for in executive committee session to discuss, excuse me, the employment of a particular individual, for which we are permitted to go into executive session. And Warren, if you could stay on the call for that, I would appreciate that. But before we do that, is there anything else that
Mhm.
anybody else wants
Can
to?
I share the
Yes,
Huh?
yes,
Yes.
please.
I just wanted to give you guys a memo. I'm asking you guys to look into authorizing online credit card payments for property taxes. Warren, I'm gonna send you this in email form, okay? But I've written out my pros and
Amen.
cons. You look at it and then we can discuss it another time, you know?
Will the taxpayer pay the charge?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
It's-
But there is a fee. There
Right,
is a
the fee, then we pass
And
that
it's
on to
on
them.
there.
Most
No.
places, it's 3%.
No, there's a fee for the town.
Fee for the
to have-
town.
To have this ability. And then
Okay,
the taxpayers also
Mhm.
pay.
And
um,
Edmunds is, we already use Edmunds on our tax portal. You can go on and click in it and see what your tax bill is. And they would put another link in there and maintain it that people could pay with credit card online right there.
That's
Mhm.
I've
interesting.
listed the towns in the area that use them, almost
Okay.
everybody. Amelia's been using it since 2013
okay.
and
Where I've lived, I mean, I have property in Maine, I mean, it's been available for many years. It's just you pay a 3%
the
charge
person.
on your, yes, the
the-
tax, or whoever's paying the
Right.
taxes
Right.
pays 3% to your credit card, but that's not unlike any other service you pay.
Well, I just also want to say that this week on Friday, May 1st, I sent out the second notice to the people who haven't paid, warning them that they have, 4 weeks until I turn it over to the county. And two totally different people, two totally different banks, I won't name the banks, said that their banks had mailed a check in February. And we haven't gotten them. And the
Wow.
banks have said they mailed it. I mean, nothing cleared, luckily, but,
I just got a.
it's been
I
lost
just
in
got
the
a
mail.
letter
It's
from
the mail.
someone, yeah, that was from end March.
Yeah,
Not from right here, but from another state
Wow.
not far away.
wow,
And it was a regular,
yeah.
Mm.
So I think this is
Hard.
kind of critical that we think about this, but of
Right.
course, Warren, I, cede to you what you think.
do we say how much to the individual is charged, or we don't know
No,
that? It's just,
It's a percentage of, they'll know when they
they'll know
log in and.
if
look
they
at it.
agree with that.
Mhm.
There might be a difference, according to what kind of credit card they use.
True,
I think
yeah.
American Express is 4%.
Okay,
Mhm.
MasterCard and Visa.
But they would also not have to use
They,
that option.
they don't
Right.
have to use
I
it.
don't.
They can
I
write a
don't know.
check.
I
But it
don't,
could-
I
It could
mean,
vary.
yeah.
depending
Yeah,
on-
they can always, they can always pay. The other thing is the pennies, that's gonna become an issue
True.
down the line too.
Did you put that in there? Because that was.
When
the-
people pay cash, it's gonna soon, not this year, but next year, it's gonna be a round up, a round down thing, and that's gonna be a little bit of a problem with meeting your exact warrant, But if they write a check, it's exact. If they pay a credit card, it's exact. It's the cash issue.
AOT for the meeting
Mhm.
brought that up as a
Mhm.
real issue, because you're not supposed,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to give change, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
there won't be pennies anymore,
right,
or,
right.
They should round it up on the tax bills where it should start.
That's where they should start. Wouldn't that be good?
Right,
I mean, they're
because
only
it-
talking about
Right, right.
rounding up or down, and if you just round
Right.
up or down,
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
you're probably gonna come
Yeah.
out with this, roughly the same number.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's that. Thank you for
Okay.
looking into that.
That's-
Tilly, thank you for doing
Thank you.
your research on that, because I have heard about all the other towns that are now taking credit
I
cards. and
think we
going,
have to.
why are we not? So I think we definitely should be looking into this
this
and
is-
offering
it's-
this. It's
an option.
It's not without cost for the taxpayer, but it's an option.
And also people are struggling.
Mhm.
Mhm,
So any way we can
Thank you.
help them.
Okay, great. Anything else before we go into?
We want to
executive
talk
session?
about this.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we had
yes.
sent
Oh,
out some
yeah.
recommendations.
Yeah, that's gonna come up in this because.
All of it?
Oh,
Yes,
Okay, because
So
we have to
we'll-
move on
we'll
this
do
too,
that.
Yeah.
because we're in May.
yeah, but it is with regards now to a specific individual.
Okay.
Can I ask, do we have any movement on the job description for highway superintendent?
Um, not that I can talk about right now.
Fine with me.
Okay,
I just, it's, we might.
So on the agenda for, next, I don't know how full the agenda is for a regular town. hall meeting.
it's
I mean,
normal.
Normal, because maybe we can touch upon more details on the town hall. Like we started talking about before. I mean, we'll have an update maybe on the court,
Yeah,
then maybe just like talking about next steps or an approach that we can take or a timeline.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even if it's a brief discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying, to the extent we can, I'm trying to use our workshop sessions for what we've sort of said was the goal, which is
Of
to
course,
sort of
yeah, yeah,
be able to discuss something and pros and cons and without having an action item and more keep, the action items that we have to have for the board meeting, which is not to say that we can't talk about anything we would like to at the board meeting. We certainly can. But yep, that'd be fine.
yeah, because the months just, everyone's so busy and months just keep slipping by, so,
I think once we hear back about
yeah,
that part of it, then we can really deep dive into a discussion of the
yeah,
rest.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's a big part of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
great.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I will make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Okay.
You guys expect to do anything after you come out, or you?
No, I don't. I don't.
eat dinner.
Yes, but that's a good question.
That's a good question,
Yeah.
thank you.
It shows your experience.
Bye-bye. I know we're out of that meeting.
Are you recording? Oh,
Uh,
yeah,
we,
you're doing good thing, but
hold on, let me just,
stop recording and.
thank
keep-
you very
keep
much.
going on there. See you later.
Yeah,
Would we be? Oh, wait.
hold on a second, just bear with me here. If I can find this thing.
There you go, that little to the left of it, the plus upside down,
Oh.
yeah.
Pause, stop.